YouTube. It's Justin the Junkie. How the fuck are you guys doing today?
Well, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys. To giddy up gone, boys. 18 wheels on the concrete.
So today what we have is a PM maintenance on a newer dump truck, okay? What I gotta do is I gotta grease it, change the oil, change the fuel filters and all that stuff. And I don't think it's gonna need an air filter. This thing's only got about 7,000 miles on it. And I usually let those go till they get, you know, really black looking. That's kind of the recommendation. But so this is another guy's truck that we work with out there. I broker his truck during salt sometimes if he doesn't have anything for his driver to do. And what he's got is a 2019 T880 with, you know, old Cummins in her. It is a performance series. It's the 485 horsepower fucking version. So, you know, he's out there little dicking her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're gonna do with that thing. But, so he just wants to get it, you know, greased all up, looked over real well. We do have to hook the computer up to it here in a little bit. We're gonna regen it, and we're also, he said that the driver complained about some fuel codes that were popping up, like the fuel filter was clogged or something like that. So we gotta investigate that. So the first thing we're gonna do is get the oil draining out of it and all that horse shit. The next thing we're gonna do is hook the computer up, but I'll give you guys a walk around of this thing in case you haven't, you know, seen a T880. We're getting some nicer shit in here. You know, my reputation for fixing shit is, you know, catching up with me. That just means you got more work to do. So we'll go ahead and do that, but I'll take you guys through like what I do on a PM maintenance and all that type of shit. A lot of people have been asking for this video. I don't know why. I don't know how exciting it is to change oil. Usually I ended up with the shit all over my fucking, all over me because, you know, I got other shit to do. So let's go walk around this thing. I'll take you guys a little tour of it and you know what I'm saying. Then we'll get ready to fucking knock this project out. I got a couple hours on it. You know, it's usually about an hour to grease it, and then, you know, an hour and a half to change all the filters, and by the time you get it back up and running and stuff like that. So this is their T880. It's called KT Supply. That's who owns this truck. I don't know how they came up with that, but you can see. Well, fuck. Hold on here. I'm gonna need a light. All right. We got Chalmer or Watson Chalmer lift axles on this thing, and as usual, nobody ever brings you a truck clean. The thing that I was looking at is all right, I wanted to know what kind of U-joints we had in this thing. Let's get back here. Oh, we have the lifetime U-joints, no grease, no grease. So these are 1810s. It's just a newer style of the 1810s, but that's what we got in there. Back here, it has Chalmers suspension on it, which is just a little bit different. You know, it has this huge fucking puck thing, kind of heavy. You can see right here, this is the Chalmers suspension. It just sits on this big rubber block instead of the Hendrix has those two ones. It's got 22 5s on it. It does have a barn door gate on it, which is pretty fucking cool. You know, that's so, I think, well, do you remove, yeah, you put a pin in here, all right, and then you swing the barn door open. If you guys ever seen anything like that. You know, I like this gray paint. You know, they got that looking pretty good. But, you know, Watson Chalmer lift axles, pretty much all the same thing. It does have the Eaton Ultra Shift in it. You can tell that right there. Eaton Ultra Shift, there's all your DEF stuff, your DPF. You know, a little Eaton Ultra Shift. And then the hot side of the turbo. Very similar to my, to my 567s. This is very similar, how all this is. The engine fits in there about the same way. You know, these are the same on my 567s. One thing I don't like is the T880 meters. It's a little bit different. But, you know, I like that they put this thing in there. Protects the headlights. Thought that was pretty cool. I never really looked at a T880, but, you know, that's not bad. So, you guys know that the T880 is a setback axle. So what that means is that this axle is set back from the front bumper. Like my tires, the center line is probably about right here, and then this is back here. The setback, just I guess they consider it vocational. They say they turn a little bit better, but you know, who really knows? So this is like the pre-filter, and we have this fuel filter. So right now I'm going to go underneath of it and come over here, get the oil drained out of it. Holy fuck. Oh man, this is a lot better dipstick. Holy shit. Nobody has been checking the oil in this thing. Oh man. I'm gonna have to tell the guy that owns this truck, holy shit man, nobody's been checking this oil. That thing is almost empty. So, you know, we just gotta grease all this stuff up. So let's get underneath this bastard and, you know, go ahead and drain the oil out of it. It's probably not gonna take very much because it's not very full. So we'll go from there. Alrighty, we're down underneath here. What I like to do is pull it out of this bottom one. Oh boy, that was not torqued to spec. So we'll just take it out of there. Oh, nope. Alright. God damn it. I don't like this setback axle shit. I can already tell you that right now. Just because I don't like how we're up here by the bumper. So there's our oil, looking pretty black. So we'll let that drain for a little bit. Alrighty, so you can see the oil draining out. Now I'm going to come over and knock a hole in the oil filter here. See, this is why I don't like setback axles, because right about here, Alrighty, we'll let that drain out for a minute. You can see that that's draining. We'll let that go a little bit to get all this stuff out, but you know, it's already coming out of the oil pan. There wasn't very much in this. Alrighty. Now what I'm going to do is get the computer out and we're going to hook it up and see what kind of codes we got in this thing. Alrighty, we got our computer hooked up here. So we'll get Cummins Insight started here. So we're going to put it in this. Yeah, I know, because it died last time. Thank you. All right, we'll turn the key on here once we get going.
Prescription drug and hearing coverage in one
Fuck.
package. Our comprehensive dental coverage includes dentures, root canals, and crowns. All well it is, this is too much.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this here. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's connect to ECM. Fuel pump's running a little bit. That's longer than normal. So this is a Kenworth T880. All right, we want to do work order. All right. Okay, it's December 21st. Just creating a work order takes forever. Okay, we're in. Now we're going to come up here to fault codes. Okay. So we have one maintenance thing. It says water in the fuel, which I kind of figured. We have 3 inactive codes. This is more like a turnkey type code. And then we have, okay. So we got 1 active is water in the fuel. Let's see if we can print. Okay. Let's see if we can print that to this guy. All right. So that's what we got. We have 100 and... So we got a bunch of stuff that's really... So they ran the coolant low, so I'm going to check that. See, we got coolant level. Man, whoever's driving this truck is not doing the fuck they're supposed to do. This after treatment one is like a relay voltage source. This just happens. This truck needs to go to Cummins or go to Kenworth and get an update. This after treatment stuff, that means that they 9 times have fucking driven it with low fucking coolant. All right, and it's got water in the fucking fuel, which is no good. So let's come over here, and then how we want to reset all fault codes. Damn it, I hate this fucking thing. I don't like how this, Jesus Christ. I don't like this mouse. Yes, I want to reset all codes. All right, so then what you do is you just turn the key off. All right. See, like you got to go over here, hit OK. Then we have to wait 100 seconds. So, this is the computer that I use. I got it from this guy named Jay out of Dayton, Ohio. It works pretty good. I've been able to do everything that I've ever wanted to do to it. You know what I'm saying? So this is just the maintenance codes that were in there. You know, I knew there was water in the fuel because the driver said some type of light popped on there, and that's water in the fuel. They don't know how to drain that out, but we'll put a new fuel filter in it and all that stuff. That code won't come back. But the DPF stuff, or the DEF, they gotta make sure they don't run that low. Especially in the winter, you should fill this up every day. you know. I have a feeling this guy's going to have some issues if you don't get him on the maintenance thing. So, alright, now all we have to do is turn the key on. Alrighty, hit OK. Alright, now that one's going to come back on because I think I have the, I know why that's on there. So, we'll just delete that out of there because I got the thing disconnected. So, he did say there was water in there. So, but if I hooked the thing up, it would go away. Yeah, because I'm getting ready to take the fuel filter off. So, we're going to do this, and then we'll disconnect from the ECM. And then we'll do this because I'm going to force regen this thing after I get everything done and fixed on it. We're going to force regen this bastard and go from there. I'll show you guys how that works once we get to there. See, this takes forever. So then we are no ECM connected. Just like that. Unplug this. Move this over there. All right. Now, that's our Cummins Insight stuff. You know, we can do a bunch of stuff with this. I just like to exit out of it. Yep. Alrighty, let's spin this oil filter off. Boy, that was not very fucking tight. Alrighty. There's our oil filter off. It's the 4000 series or whatever the fuck it's called. Alrighty. Now we'll go ahead and fill this up. You know, some guys don't fill oil filters. I believe you should fill the oil filter. I usually fill it up about halfway, you know, just so you know that we got, you know, some in there. Alright. Now, we'll just go ahead and put this back on there. Like a professional, right on there. Alright. Now with this, I'm not a fucking Godzilla type guy, but some people are. As you know, Cummins don't run with very much oil pressure. So, that's that. Now all I gotta do is go down underneath there and put the drain plug back in, and we are fucking good to go on that. So we'll move around to the other side, and I'll show you guys how to do these fuel filters. Alrighty, I'm gonna get in here so you guys can see this here. Okay, now on this filter, you have to get this special pack car wrench, and this is gonna make a fucking mess. It always does. So let's get this. Oh, this is, I fucking hate these goddamn, hate these fucking goddamn setback axles. So, it's just this wrench here, and, you know, where they got this thing fucking sucks. See, I have some that have these, like, big ones on it. Alright. Now it's gonna pour fuel out everywhere. Just what I thought. Okay, so we're gonna look at this filter right here, and you see how it's got all that gray in it? Okay, like right here, this milky shit, that's all that water. That's water in the fuel. This thing had a shit ton of water in the fuel. Yeah, I can, you know, ugh. So that's that one. The first thing we do is just let that go like that. Okay, now, this is the thing that's usually on there like fucking tight as fuck. No, it's, goddamn, man, mine were on there so tight you couldn't even get them off. Fuck. Yeah, just what I fucking thought. I mean, they got this in such a shitty fucking place. 'Cause I don't even know how I'm gonna get it. Jeez, that's, threads are a little chewy. You can feel them. Then we're gonna get absolutely fucking soaked when this shit finally comes off. There we go. Oh! See, that sucks because it won't come out down there. See this? Jesus Christ. Alright, now we gotta figure out how to get this back in there. It's just a shitty design where these things are located. Fuck. Alright. There's that. We'll have to clean that out. But here's these two nasty filters. So what I'm going to do is go get some fresh diesel, and then we are going to fill up our filters and all that shit. Alrighty, we got our new engine filter here. Right here. I keep these things in stock. You know, I buy 2 dozen at a time or whatever, you know. So while we're messing with this diesel, we're just gonna go straight rag. Now this thing has this little thing in there, so I like to fill it like this, you know, and it has this plug, and then we will figure out, we're only gonna fill this up halfway, then stick it back in there and fill it up the rest of the way. So it tells you, you know, fill with cap in place. Oh. All right, slide that out of the way. All right. Now we're gonna make a fucking giant fucking mess because of how Packard's got this fucking loaded. Hold on here. We'll just put a little bit. Ah, damn, there's nowhere to set anything. So then what we'll do is we'll slide this in there, see? Fuck. Okay. Now that this is sitting down in there, we're gonna come back over here. Now I know that, you know, it's like, we already took that plug out, but fuck it. I know I got good clean diesel. So there's where you want to get it filled to. Slide that up out of the way. Now, the hardest part is getting this thing started, because it's kind of tricky, especially when you get diesel all over your hands. And Packard does not know how to fucking use flush cut fucking zip tie cutters. So you just screw this back on. Okay, where's my, then we'll just get this and give her a little toot. Let me get this out of the way. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, they got all this shit right in here where you gotta work. You know. Alrighty. There's that. Now, we got this thing. Let's move these out of the way. So here's this filter, 3729. So we'll get that one. All right. Ah, fuck me. Set this somewhere until we can get this open. Now this one kind of sucks because you gotta fill it up pretty high. You know, and we still got to put oil back in the engine, but I just wanted to get this stuff done. So we put on our O-ring. All right, there's our O-ring. This fits. I like to put this up in there. All right. Fucking aluminum everywhere. Okay, now we just got to fill this up. Okay, now you just slide this back on there. Oh, that was filled perfect. And then spin this on there. All right. Then you just use this special wrench to tighten this up. Alrighty, then we have our plugs. So this plug goes into that one, snaps in. Then this one goes into the other one over there. Now, our check engine light, that's the filters. Let's see, that looks okay. Okay, so now the next thing is we're gonna go get the oil and fill up with oil here. Okay, I got my thing, I re-zeroed this out. Now I know on my trucks that it takes 45 quarts of oil, so we'll just put 45 in it. That's because I shorted the oil pump or the oil filter just a little bit. I'm gonna tell you, I love these Astro lights. Whoa. Okay, also while I'm waiting on this, I'm gonna go cycle the key and run the fuel pump just a little bit. You'll hear that start running. What I want to see is this fucking get filled up. See how this is filling up? Perfect. Alrighty. Alrighty, we'll turn that back off. I tell you, I like the Kenworth dipsticks over the Peterbilts. So we got nothing in there yet. We only got 13 quarts. Now, you know, this thing takes a little bit, but it also beats pouring 5-gallon buckets in there. I will tell you that. You know, you guys have seen the video on all this stuff, but this is the easiest way that I figured how to do this, especially if you have to do a lot of trucks. $17 quarts. I mean, I got this thing wide open. That's as fast as it goes. And it goes a little bit faster. We'll just hold it. Fill her up. Fill her up. We're halfway now. So, I mean, it does take a little bit, but at least you can stand around and fuck around. But, you know, that's that. What we are going to do is after we get oil in it, we're going to let it run. We're going to start it up here for a little bit, let it run for a couple minutes to get this oil run all the way through there. Then we'll turn it off, wait a couple minutes while we're filling up the coolant over there, and pretty much go from there. But this is it. 44 quarts is 11 gallons. That's the max you can put in there. I like to put 45 in right from the get-go because I've done enough of these. I know exactly, you know, to my, you know, this calibration might be off a little bit, or, you know, my fucking thing, I know exactly how much it will take. See, we're probably getting some on the dipstick now. Oh no, still none on the dipstick at 30 quarts. Whoa. We probably got to get to 36 before we're going to see anything. Now we're starting to get it on the bottom. Oh yeah, now we're going. Now what oil I use is, this takes a 1030. I use the Schaefer 9000 1030 oil is what I use. You know, full synthetic stuff. I go 20,000 miles in between drains. I could actually probably go longer than that, but I feel like 20,000 for a dump truck is pretty good. You know, like Cummins recommends 40,000 on just regular oil with severe duty. That means under 5 miles a gallon. So, you know, just changing it a little bit earlier doesn't hurt. Well, we got 40 quarts in there, and we are almost to the full line. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna go to 44 because I feel that's where we need to stop. So we're almost there. All right, 44.1. All right, and we'll do that. Let's check the, see if we can get it started up. We got it started up. We'll let it idle here for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and check the oil, and that should be that. Alrighty, we are a half a gallon low on coolant, and that will make the coolant light go off in these new trucks. So now let's take the cab air filter out. And this filter. Alrighty, we'll see if we got both of these and put those in there, because I think this is directional. I think it says somewhere, I don't remember. Yeah, airflow. So this is the bottom. Alrighty, let me go get that. Alrighty, these T880s must be different. They must not, I don't have one of these for my pack cars, so go ahead and I'll just blow this out a little bit. Alrighty, we blew that out pretty good. We'll just slide that back in there. The main thing is this top filter. So again, we want to put it in so the airflow goes like this. Slide this right in there. See, they got this drain shit. See, I got that in there. You know, what this does is this just protects the driver from themselves. That slides in there just like that. So we got the coolant checked, oil checked, all that shit. We gotta go check the oil, sorry. And then we'll be ready to move on to grease it. So we let the oil, you know, run back down to the bottom of the block there. let's see what we got. We had good oil pressure, 45 pounds. That's actually really good for a Cummins. You know, they don't run very much. We are about just a cut hair low. So we're gonna put just alrighty. Now, this guy doesn't have access to Schaefer's, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a gallon of coolant to take home with him, and I'm going to give him a gallon of oil to take home with him. They need to start checking this oil. You know, like how low it was unacceptable. You know, that's bullshit, you know. So, alrighty. That's pretty much an oil change and maintenance. Like I said, the air filter does not need to be done. I looked at that. Like, you know, I'll climb up here. You know, and it is not like black or dirty or anything like that. So that's pretty good. I don't think this does not have the. This is an earlier 18 or earlier 19 build, but all right. So now all we got to do is go along and grease this bastard up, which that won't take very long. So usually what I do is I start in the back and work my way forward. So we'll get into doing that next. Alrighty, YouTube, I'm going to show you this wheel because this is basically what you're doing here is you're just repeating this process 6 times. Now, what we did look like, we looked for U-joints, no greasable U-joints, which I fucking figured. There is some other stuff that's not greasable either, like slip yokes, or the slip part of the drive shaft is not greasable, pins and stuff like that. So really, all these trucks have is the lift axles, all the brake chambers, and some of the steering components. That's about it, and the bed, and all that stuff. So just wanted to show you this one, and then I'll show you some other stuff as we pop around there. So again, you just get your lock and lube on there. Couple squirts. There we go. Water came out of it. There we go. White lithium grease. That's what the factory uses. So that's what tells me this thing has not been greased since the factory. And whoever greased it, I mean, if somebody greased it before, I would be fucking shocked, because if they can't check the oil, why in the hell would you grease it? So again, with 22.5s on there, makes it fucking hard. So we want to get this in there real good. I would say on these lift axles, the kingpins are about the most important fucking thing. So I like to put a lot in the kingpins. Alrighty, then what you have to do is come down on the bottom and get that one. See here. There's some good grease on that. And then you have your tie rod, which was about empty. So we'll fill that up. You know, there we go. So basically, that's how you grease those 6 fucking times. And then I'll show you, once we get moved up underneath the hood, I'll show you what you got to do there. You know, let me clean this thing, but that's moving on to grease it, you know. And greasing is more about looking at your truck, doing preventative maintenance. That's all greasing is. I know it sucks, you're gonna get fucking filthy, it's fucking stupid, I get it, but you're looking to see if there's anything broke here, okay, damaged, because these trucks cost so much money. If you can find something that you can fix before it breaks, it's a lot easier than when it fucking rips everything else off. And, you know, you can fix it now when you know you're not doing nothing, and you can keep your truck running for the week. So that's it. So let me just move on to getting this greased, and then I'll show you some more stuff. Alrighty guys, one thing that I like to do is grease these pads right here, okay? So you got them on both sides. It's just, you know, like you grease these by hand like that. It just keeps the squeaks down, is really all it does, you know? And they come greased from the factory, so you might as well grease them there, because these are like 130 bucks a piece. You know, tell me how I know, because I've lost a shit ton of them. But all right, so the important thing when you're greasing here is, let's go over to the other side, because I want to show you something. Okay, so the important thing is sometimes you might have to turn the steering wheel to get this. Now these steering boxes have no fucking grease ports. Now what's interesting is this one has it on the shackles and stuff, but if you look at, if you look way down in there, right there, you're gonna see a grease fitting, okay? Now what that is on the Eaton Ultra shifts, the grease fitting is down there, okay? So just remember to hit that. You got your front shackle, remember that, and all that stuff. But I think this thing is greased, ready to go. Now we get a better look at this, you know, of this truck. So this one has a unique back door on it. What it has is a barn door plus kind of an asphalt taper. I can tell the thing kind of don't work at night. You know, because he ain't got enough backup lights on this motherfucker. But, you know, it's got this cool little thing, you know, you push this up and then it latches into there. You got to grease here, alrighty, and you want to grease this pin, and there's another pin up there, alrighty? And that's pretty much it on the greasing. You know what I'm saying? That's just the special stuff to look out for. You know, and then also, like, when you're greasing the truck, like I said, you know, you just want to kind of give everything the fucking once over, all that stuff. This truck doesn't have very many miles, so to be honest with you, it's in pretty good shape. It could use a bath. Again, no truck driver takes the time to go to the truck wash. I mean, it could use a good frame blasting and all that stuff, you know. Get these wheels clean, shoo-wee, you know. But, you know, that's that. Now what we got to do is pull it outside, and we're going to run a regeneration cycle because it's never been done that. It's got 7,000 miles on it. You know, we want to do that. So there's their annual inspection report. Shoo-wee. They got that. What we're going to do is run a after treatment regen. Let me get this out of here. I hate this. Shut up! What the hell? Why is this fucking beeping? This fucking annoying motherfucker. So what you do is you go into this after treatment there. You hit this. Alrighty. Now it's gonna say, all right, make sure the engine's running, the vehicle stopped. Yes, we got all that. Yes, there is nothing around. Alrighty. Now, what we're doing is that, you know, I'm gonna sit here and watch these numbers here for a little bit. Now this takes about an hour, okay? And what I wanna see is, right now it says the soot level is pretty normal. It's not dosing. It'll start dosing here in a minute. And then once this stuff gets up. So you want this catalyst temperature, it'll pop up. I'll pop in from time to time, but I'm just gonna get this thing regen. You can already see we're starting to go up. You'll hear it start dosing. And, you know, it already revved itself up over here. All right, we got good oil pressure, volts, all that stuff. Water temperature is pretty good. our oil temperature starting to come up, and we have boost. So we have all that stuff. There's another way you can go in here, but it's in this ECM diagnostic test, and this is just doing this to keep it, because these dump trucks idle so long. That's the problem with the DPF systems. You just want to keep it pretty fucking clean, pretty you know, sooted out. There's no negative to running this, you know what I'm saying? So just you know, I do this from time to time on my trucks, and I'm going to be doing it on this one just to make sure everything's good. So you can see our numbers are starting to come up. It'll start dosing once this gets hot enough right here. So you can see our inlet temperature is 340 degrees, and outlet is only, it's a, you know, 120 degrees difference. This will eventually get to be the same, then you know it's getting it's pretty fucking clean. Alrighty guys, I don't know if you can see this, but this thing's been running for a little bit, and we are dosing, and our catalyst is about 700 degrees. That's where it likes to run. Sometimes if they're really dirty, that'll get up to about 800. You can see that our inlet temperature is 1,000 degrees, and our outlet temperature is about 990, okay? This one has probably been idling a lot, and that's why, you know, it's been running about 45 minutes, so it'll be, you know, like that. It, you know, once these two equal out and stuff like that, it'll switch from dosing to all that stuff once it runs its system. But other than that, you can see we got, you know, it tells us that our system is hot and all that shit, you know. But these Kenworths are pretty much the exact same as mine, you know, not too much different. You know, I like this. It's got the smart wheel, all that stuff. The one thing I don't like is these mirrors. They're just too low. They need to be a little bit higher. But other than that, that's what we're waiting on. But this is what you do in a regen system. You just let it run, and it fixes itself, you know, gets itself cleaned out. What I've noticed is it won't go through as much DPF, DEF as after you do this for a couple days. You know, it hardly won't burn any and stuff like that. It just gets it cleaned up. So that's a regen system, and then, you know, it's basically unplug this thing and go about your day. But other than that, this is a pretty nice truck. The guy that owns it, him and his wife own it together, and they have a driver and stuff like that. But you know, I got to tell him to look out for a couple things. I didn't like a couple things on it, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, I didn't like how low that oil was. Somebody should be checking that shit, because what I found is with the new Cummins engines, it takes about 8,000 miles for them to get them to stop burning oil. Then they don't burn a drop. So I think it's just that initial seating the rings in and stuff like that. It's about 8,000 miles, you know. But yeah, it's got a, let's see, it's got a 1631 transmission. I don't know what code that is, you know. But oh, it's got 391 gears. Gross vehicle weight on this motherfucker is 90,000. Holy shit. But anyway, that's how you do a PM maintenance on a fucking another dump truck. This happens to be a Kenworth T880, very similar to mine. But like always, you know, go check out Junkie Shop Time on Instagram, Facebook, Justin Sturgill Trucking on Facebook, Junkie Shop Time on Patreon. If you want to continue to support this channel, check out those Amazon links, and you know, I think that's pretty much it. But like always, thanks for watching. I gotta fucking go.